Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Hello, ladies and gentlefish. Welcome back. How y'all doing? Yeah, it is a bit like that. This is Art Stream Pull One Out for the Homies edition. Everybody's dying, tired. Things are not going great for a lot of people. So we're going to have a chill, relaxed art stream. I am currently cozy in my my lovely bathrobe, my anniversary bathrobe.
Hey, because we buy normal anniversary presents.
Yeah, so, a few things. We're tired and dying.
Hey.
In the non-literal sense. And then we have friend who is struggling at the moment. There is the charity link to go and help them out, help Annie out. Lots and lots of medical issues and
Very expensive.
social issues. Medical issues are extremely expensive. Lots of surgeries, lots of drugs and medical interventions and things.
Can't hold down a job if you have to constantly be off sick.
Yeah, so that's a struggle. The government is not doing a very good job of supporting her, and hasn't for a little while now. So she's well into struggle mode. So any little bit you can do to help out would be amazing. If you can't yourself donate or support because you can't afford it, or you're struggling yourself or anything like that, just sharing the link around is a super helpful thing. The more eyes get on this little charity drive, the better, because it's super important. It's lots of different things that need help, and if we can get ahead of them and on top of them, then quality of life might improve, and that would be awesome, because people deserve to have a decent quality of life. And in a similar sort of vein, though unfortunately there's no sort of charity or goodwill we can do, one of my friends from back in the day, I found out today, met a sudden end. So that's a bit sad. So we're going to pour one out for the homies today.
Lover, you never told me about that.
No.
Why have you not told me? Why are you not talking to me?
Oh, lover.
I'm sorry, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Are you sure? That's a big news to find out.
It is a big news to find out.
Are you sure you're okay? Are you
Yeah.
just repressing your emotions?
No, never.
That sounds like a lie.
That's not a thing I would ever do. Don't be silly. But yeah, so we weren't super close or anything, but it's still sad. And specifically, I think probably the thing that's rocked me the most, or is most sad about it for me personally, other than the fact that this person is no longer around, because they were a nice, genuine sort of individual, and they will be sorely missed. But also the fact that in their very recent time, we'd been chatting, and other people had been chatting to them, and it seemed like they had a pretty good support network. And then just out of the blue, well, not super out of the blue, but mostly out of the blue, they're now no longer with us. So, yeah, I guess the main point of bringing up on the stream was just to sort of acknowledge the fact that if you need support, there are lots of different avenues you can go through. There are lots of people around you who would love to be able to, or would be super happy to be able to sort out your problems with you, to chat through whatever you're going through, to sort of try and make things easier. And if you need that support, just asking is all you need to do. There are lots of people who would jump to help if you needed it. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, if you are struggling, please contact someone, anyone. Maybe not anyone, but someone. Anyway, so all of that aside, all of the usual things aside, we are actually going to get around to doing tattoo flash designs and stuff today. I've been working on a few already, so I've done the line work for a couple, and I've done just the bare bones stuff for like 3 or 4 different sheets that I'm doing. Basically, the plan behind this is we're doing a flash sheet for most, or not all, but like most of the major tattoo sort of styles, genres, and working on trying to get a representation of each of those, kind of in my own style, but mostly just kind of replicating the existing style, and seeing what we can do with that, the subject matter and the technique. So that's what we're doing today. We have this neo-traditional work, which I've already lined up. Yeah. So it started out with line work like this. Let's take away this shit. Ooh, started out with line work like that, and then we have added over the top our lovely detail work and our line work, and we're going to try and go in and block out some color and clean all these lines up and make it look real pretty. So that's one thing that we're going to work on, and then the second one, if we get bored of this or have time, or if I just don't know what to do with it, I have this psychedelic. It's sort of hard to see, but yeah, we're gonna try and work on this psychedelic piece. So we've got this mushroom in its eye. We've got this sort of skull design, and then I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this, but it's basically like a Fibonacci spiral. So that kind of golden spiral. What would you call that? Like a mathematical geometric shape. I'm going to try and do something with that. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with it yet. So we'll figure out something there.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we'll play around with that. We might do that today at some point. We might not. I do have to work tomorrow, and I still have to have a shower. So we're not going to be streaming too late, but we'll see how we go. I did start with red and blue as our overlay here, just because. Okay. Just make sure I've got enough songs loaded that we won't stop too early. I did start with red and blue so that I could see it over the top of our black, which was the original line art. And then we're going to probably just turn all of this black and then start colouring in detail once we've cleaned it up a little. So that's where we are. Other than that, probably not philosophical chats tonight. But if you're bored and you're interested and you want to talk about it, feel free to ask questions in chat. I do also have my, not all of them, but some of my channel point redemptions turned back on now. Now that things are a little bit less hectic and a little bit less crazy, we can do a bit of that again. So let's play around with this. I've just sort of brined my lines a little. So the way I did that was just duplicate the layer and then put a blur on it, just kind of widen it out, and then I'm going to go in and just clean up all these edges, basically just to make a thicker line in some areas. I need to clean up this skull design in here. But yeah, so that's where we're up to. So let's start playing around with this. I think what we do is we just take the color out of it. That's okay, so it's not doing anything there. Alright, what we'll do is we'll merge down these two layers and then desaturate. And probably darken slightly. There we go, that looks alright. And then on a new layer, there are some funky tricks you can do with like alpha locking and things like that, but I think we're just gonna kind of do this the old-fashioned way. So if you are doing your own digital art, there are much faster ways to do all the things that I'm doing now, or about to be doing.
You're just a nog.
I'm just a nog. Let's go a bit bigger and we'll just block this out quickly. Doesn't have to be perfect because we'll clean up our edges in a second. Thinking I should probably get like a textured background, a colored background to put in. Just because I think that'll make some of this pop a little bit more. But we'll work that out as we go, I think. Fair warning, I have no idea what's on this playlist, so... Probably gonna be more of this weird stuff. Which isn't super far off what we usually listen to, so, you know. It'll probably be fine. You're fine. That is Lizzie Bell in the background there.
Hi.
Dying slightly.
No, I'm totally fine.
Very tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been recovering from the plague.
Not the plague.
Various plagues.
You have like a respiratory in your bowels.
Hmm?
You had like the respiratory illness
Yep.
and then your bowels.
Yeah.
I had the respiratory illness and then the throat infection
Yeah.
and the migraine. It's too much. Too many things.
It is too many things. Yeah, my FODMAP diet, I had to take a break from it. More for my own sanity than anything else.
You were sick already.
Because I was sick already. Well, it was a combination of things, but basically the issue was I was sick already, and then like I hadn't yet figured out all the things that were sort of setting me off. So having cut out pretty much everything that the diet had asked me to cut out, I was still having symptoms. And there were little things here and there that I like didn't realize that I couldn't be having, or like would have been issues that I didn't pick up on. But I cut those out, and then I was still having problems. And there's just because it's an elimination diet, it's very restricting. Because it's basically to find out like what triggers you with IBS symptoms. Irritable bowel. And so I was really struggling between like not being able to have anything and then like being too tired from being sick to like go out and get stuff or like do cooking, like too much cooking. And so it was just a lot of fuss for something that wasn't really doing anything or wasn't really doing what I wanted it to do. So in the end, I just decided that probably not going to stick to it. So I didn't. Which is fine, except that it's then pushed me back now. So I had to start again from the start, which I have done. And been trying to be good. But I'm still having symptoms, unfortunately. So there's more things I'm gonna have to cut out, which is frustrating. It's looking like potentially soy, garlic, onions, and definitely lactose. We did kind of already know that lactose was going to be a thing. Just kind of figured that one out on my own, but the soy one's frustrating. If it is that. And one of the other things that's been kind of frustrating being on this diet is now that I've been on it for a little bit, now that I've been cutting things out, my body is now responding quite like rapidly and quite violently to any little thing that sets it off. So it's almost gotten, well, it's not almost, it has gotten significantly worse in the short amount of time since I've started, which is kind of making it really difficult to do things, like to go out and be out and about in the world. Because where previously it would be like uncomfortable, now it's like dire situations. And I am mildly concerned about how I'm going to be teaching whilst struggling with all of this.
Take gastro stop.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that.
You might have to.
Might have to.
Better than pooping your pants at school.
It is better than pooping my pants at school, this is true. I will then be constipated for a couple of days and then not know if the diet's working or not.
A gastro stop shouldn't constipate you after one serve.
Shouldn't.
It shouldn't. That's not normal. Ever.
Well, we've already established that I'm not really a normal person, so...
True.
But yeah, anyway, that's a thing we're struggling through, which is fun. So anybody who's wondering what we are doing, what we're working on right now, this is a neo-traditional flash sheet. So we are trying to emulate the neo-traditional style of tattooing. So basically, that's you take traditional, old-school tattooing. So old school would be kind of typified by the bold, thick lines, big blocks of color, like gradients of color, and very kind of 2D flat elements. And then you kind of extend from there and add in like Art Deco, Art Nouveau, kind of techniques and styles. And then expand out your subject matter a little bit, and you end up with neo-traditional. So a lot of art that you see tattoo artists doing these days is like neo-traditional style stuff. There is a big market still for traditional, but most artists have moved into a more like illustrative with aspects of neo-traditional in there, which is pretty common. It's good. I like neo-traditional. It is it's a good style. This is probably one of the styles of tattooing that I would happily do myself. Alright, then we're gonna silver up this blade a little. Might just color fill this if I can. Where is the line break here? Down the bottom. That looks alright. Alright, so. Magic wand tool, and then grow selection. Perfect. That was not what I meant to do. You are excused. You're welcome. Alright, so we want to add in some did I color it on here? No, I didn't. Okay. Basically, we're going to add some like shine lines onto the blade. I'm going to go back to flat brush. Is this not separated in here? Why is that not separated in here? This is one of my big complaints. Oh, it's because it's not differentiated here. That's fine. Can I? Tool options. Deselect. Yeah, one of my main complaints about Critter, for those playing at home, it's not super intuitive to use. So the tool options are kind of like hidden away places in these other sections. Don't know if I can. Yeah, I can't move this out. There are ways to make things a little bit more clean, but it's not super. It's not super clear how to do all the things. And a bit of a gradient. Nope. Gradient. probably have to redo this. I like this. This is more my style, but it's not in keeping with the aesthetic we're actually going for, which is disappointing because I prefer it. Keyboard keeps dying on me. Yeah, we'll change out the batteries and see if that does the trick.
You can borrow mine if you need it. It's not as good as yours.
No, that's alright.
I'm not using it, so.
Problem is, it's a it's a 2-in-1 set, and I don't know if it's the Okay, let's try that. There we go. It lives. Yeah, I don't know if it's just that the mouse battery is running out, and so it's not staying connected, or if it's actually the keyboard's battery, and then that's got its own problems. Anyway, that's worked, so let's do that selection. Probably 4 pixels or so. Yeah, that looks good. And then we're just going to add in all these little sections that it missed. Yeah, once you understand the keyboard controls, hotkeys and things like that, this whole process gets much quicker. But like I said, it's not super intuitive, so unfortunately. Fortunately, until you figure that out, or unless you watch a tutorial, which I never do because I'm lazy. One of these days you'll commission me for your back piece. Ooh, exciting! I would be happy to do a back piece design for you if you want it. What do you have in mind? What are you thinking? Also, hey, how you doing? Yggdrasil tree with Odin's face looking down on it from the skies. Interesting. I like it. I like the idea. What's your thought process in terms of what's this done? What's your thought process in terms of stylistic choices? Do you want it to be a little bit more realism? Do you want it to be more keeping in with the Norse traditional designs? That kind of knotwork and almost Celtic really, but knotwork and flat layered pieces? Or do you want it to be a little bit more kind of 3D and realistic? We are going to do a Norse and a Celtic flash sheet at some point, so that'll be good fun. Now, I'm going to fill this whole thing brownish. think that's the brown we want. You down for whatever? Alright. The other thing you'll have to consider or keep in mind is that quite a lot of tattoo artists want to design their own work. So depending on who you end up getting it from, they might want to do it themselves. Which, you know, honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. It'll be a better tattoo that way. Is that so? Ahem.
Maybe.
Cousin's gonna do it. He's not picky, he just wants you to go to his shop. That's fair. Well, in that case, I can definitely see what I can do in terms of coming up with some interesting designs. How do I want to layer this, do I reckon? I've done that on the wrong fucking layer! Ugh. As always. Alright, let's do it this way. What is the hotkey for this tool? How do I find that out? Configure critter. There is my Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. Go and check it out. Super cool artworks. Yeah, lots of good things to go and see. Brushes and stuff. No, that's not what I want. Nope. No. Tool shortcuts. Contiguous select tool is going to be S. Okay. Wunderbar. That worked. Do we reckon gradient is... Oh, yes. That makes things much easier. Did it on the wrong fucking layer. One of these days I'll learn, I swear. One of these days. It won't be today, though. So how you doing, Zone? How's work treating you? Gone and fucking done it again, haven't I? Alright, there we go. We've officially had a name change in our little streaming community. or at least the Discord side of it. But I think the rest of it's going to probably be adopted pretty universally. We are now going to be the World Tree community, the World Tree group, collective, something. So that's exciting. I like that our little World Tree thing has followed over everywhere else. Okay, I need to add select these in. You going to bed, Mama?
It's like 9 o'clock.
Is that a no or a yes?
I'm making myself a hot drink.
Okay.
Sorry. You usually go to bed at 9 o'clock?
Usually probably not, but sometimes you do.
This is true. Well, I'll see how I feel. I'm having a hot drink first. Like a lemon tea or something.
Oh, lovely. Good choice.
Put myself in the sleeping mood. You get a too much chocolate.
I did.
Nice.
I have no idea. I haven't tried it yet. Like I said before, I am on a low FODMAP diet to
I've changed my mind. I also want hot chocolate.
to work out bowel issues. Fun. Because of that, I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed a lot of things, but specifically in those lot of things, I'm not allowed milk, anything with lactose in it. So I had to buy a new hot chocolate mix so that I could actually still have hot chocolate. Let's see how this looks. That looks pretty good. Alright, we're going to work out what we're going to do. I'm just going to clean up the edge here. Got to work out what we're going to do for these pearls in the middle here. And I think we will gradient this as well. So what I think we'll do is probably from the bottom. When I select this, is going to select all of it, will it not? Oh, it won't. Perfect. Hey. So let's... Nope. Deselect this section. Fuck. I knew that was going to happen. Unselect this. One of my lovely arty friends took up the mantle, the gauntlet that I had thrown down for her, and did a lovely version of the Mona Lisa. So if you don't have her on like the Instagrams and all of the things, I've done this on the wrong layer again. Alright, this layer. Yeah, if you don't have her on the Instagrams, you should go and check her out. Barbara Aus Art. think I need to do is... expand this slightly. Yeah, if you haven't checked out her work, go and do so. But yeah, she I was talking about how I had recently done a version of the Mona Lisa tattooed on some fake skin, and she was thoroughly impressed by my work. And then admitted that she had never actually attempted the Mona Lisa herself. And so I said that she should give it a go. So she's doing that, which is pretty awesome. I think she killed it. So would advise going and checking it out, seeing for yourself. Alright, so in these sections, what I'm thinking is we go kind of blue-ish. And we're going to start with just graying these out a little. And then we'll lighten them with white, sort of flashes of white on the top. And then probably blue. I'm trying to go for that like opalescent color, but that's actually quite difficult to replicate. So we'll see how we go. What I want to do is like that's not quite it. If you haven't seen my my tattoo version of the Mona Lisa yet, you should definitely check it out. It's on Instagram. I think I did a pretty good job in terms of technical skill. There's some well, in terms of the artistic technical skill, there's some things that still need fixing up, I think. It's not a perfect replication, unfortunately. Not that I would really expect it to be, but I'm not a realism artist, necessarily. However, in terms of the tattooing technique, I think I pretty much nailed it. There was only like one tiny spot of blowout where I went too deeply and sort of at the wrong angle. But overall, I think I managed to nail it. If it was done on a person, it should heal out perfectly fine. And all of the detail work and all of the shading is soft enough that kind of the natural spread of ink and the sort of softening of it over time and spreading of it over time would mean that you'd get pretty close to the original image, I would think. It's just on fake skin that doesn't happen, so there's not really a chance for it to improve over time. The wish wash is dirty, my love. Lavender hot
Never
chocolate.
had before.
Oh,
But imagine it being nice.
sounds cool.
You're cool.
Thank you. Do try.
You do very well.
Thank you. So we're gonna sort of confuse our light sources a little bit here, partially on purpose. Because we've got a few different sort of directions of light coming in. All over the piece. Mainly for aesthetic reasons, so like we could clean it up and make it kind of more unified if we wanted to. But I think in terms of what we're doing, the style we're doing, kind of Art Deco, neo-traditional kind of stuff, the kind of direction of light and the 3D-ness of it doesn't really matter. Where it's kind of light choice based purely on aesthetic. People will dislike me for saying this probably, or some people at least in the industry. But tattooing has its roots in the kind of outsider, ignorant art realms. And our pioneers of tattooing were not themselves professional artists, which is why you ended up with a lot of less than realistic representations in tattooing. Part of that was also just like what they had access to in terms of machines and time to be able to actually like put ink in. It's kind of hard to do a full realism piece when you only have so much. Yeah, when you only have certain types of ink, and you only have machines that don't do an amazing job. Thick needles, that kind of stuff. So what you tend to end up happening is thicker, bolder lines, simple shapes and designs, usually 2D and flat work or geometric style work, and then like your bold, thick colors tend to be the things that so like very vibrant reds, very vibrant blacks, greens, blues, yellows, and then those got mixed together to kind of get that gradient hue kind of thing going on. But it usually ended up with let's see if we can get some red in here. Yeah, that's gonna do the trick, I think. So you didn't end up having a lot of this fine detail kind of work. You do get more of it in neo-traditional, but it isn't until, you know, major machines started coming out and, you know, developments in ink and working practice, and you started having more like full-time artists. So people who were, you know, tattoo artists full-time, studied and worked to become it, kind of thing. Do I want to add in some light flashing on these? I think so. This is entirely the wrong angle for this, unfortunately. Help if I had the opacity turned all the way up. One of the things I'm enjoying about working off my little tablet, which is why I've got it out here at the moment with me, is that I can turn the canvas so that I don't have to be working in one direction the entire time. So if you're an artist and you are thinking of whether or not it's worth investing in a tablet, yes, absolutely. Glowing recommendation. In terms of what tablet you should get, that's entirely up to you. Your working style and what you're doing. In terms of if you're getting into like professional artistry, tattooing, for example. I kind of have a two-pronged advice. One being, get an iPad and Procreate. Because the stabilization features and like basically all of Apple's features make everything super intuitive, super easy to use, super quick. So you can crack out a bunch of really smooth, really clean designs in like no time at all. That will make you a quick and decent artist. Now, if you want to be a good artist and very competent as an artist, absolutely don't get Apple products. For exactly the same reason. Your artworks will be done quickly and using all of the stabilization and kind of assistive features of the Apple devices. And if you do that, then you don't learn how to do it with your own hand. It also makes it harder if you're like similar to me and you're a more like traditional artist working with like traditional techniques and stuff, because all of the techniques kind of get done for you and it's difficult to override them and things like that. It is a little frustrating not having the stabilizing features specifically for this style of art, like traditional, American traditional, neo-traditional, that kind of stuff. But like, as you can see, relatively clean, smooth lines. It's only once you like really get in there that you start to see the unstable sections of my work. Critter does have a stabilizer. I think Photoshop has a stabilizer as well, but they're not particularly good. They're not quite up to the market yet. But honestly, if you're planning on becoming an artist full-time and long-term, you're better off getting the thing that makes it a little bit more difficult to do and just learning to do it yourself. Because while a stabilizer can help you draw a nice clean straight line quicker on the app, means you'll only ever be able to do it on the app. Which works for some people, you know. No shame to them. I'm one of those old fuddy-duddies, traditional artists. This is probably too much detail to be putting in, honestly, but I wanna, so I'm gonna do it. going in, just doing spot fixes. Just anywhere where there is a lack of colour. Lack of the right colour, anyway. I think I want to darken these intersections. So we'll take. Nope. And we'll probably darken this as well. I've done that on the wrong fucking layer again. Ugh. Redo. There we go. And then we'll do these two down here. Down here. Actually, let's go back. I'm just going to fix this up a little. That's better. All right. Where was I? Much better. Okay, back down to here. Selection tool. Grow these selections slightly. Probably 2 pixels. Yep, that's enough. Fine, that explains something to me though. Can't do that at the same time. So, grow selection by 2. Go to the right layer. Let's go to the other side, do the same. I need to go through and like learn all of the unlearn all of the shortcuts, the hotkeys. This side needs just a little bit more. Go. just have to clean it up down here manually. Ugh. I think that looks good. We have done well there. We're gonna ignore this lovely moth down here, I think, just because there's a fair amount of cleaning up that needs doing on this. There is also a fair amount of cleaning that needs doing on this as well, on our lovely... I think this is supposed to be a peony? I don't know if it actually is a peony, but I think that's what it was supposed to be when I was designing it. This one's going to be particularly difficult because none of these lines fully match up anywhere. They're all kind of higgledy-piggledy all over the place, which is a thing we're going to have to fix. I believe this was the point at which I was trying to test out the stabilizer on Critter, and it doesn't do the trick. It might just be that I'm like not used to it at all, but it's like I don't think it's the best system. It clearly would need you getting used to, and I could get used to it over time. But for now, my plan was basically just draw it out like I normally do, and I'll clean up the lines and the edges afterwards, because that's pretty much the way I work anyway. Anyway, let's get to colouring this, and then we'll fix up the line work later. I think is probably the best plan. This stream is sponsored by Lizzie Bell.
Hi. I am about to go to bed.
Oh, bedtime. That's fair. Alright, let's block in some colour. We'll start with the just gonna use the big brush tool here. Oh, wrong layer. As always. This flower's gonna be super pretty. Yeah, I think so too. Trying to think what color palette I want to go with for the petals. I was thinking potentially like bi-flag.
Yeah.
The purple, magenta, violet kind of spectrum. Am I going for a more realistic look? No, not necessarily. I was going for something a little bit more,
Did your recent purple flower
vibrant.
painting that you made for someone have that similar colour scheme? Purple, magenta, violet?
It did.
Fair enough.
Wasn't intentional, but yeah, if I was going for something more realistic, I'd just look up like what the actual color of the flower that this is supposed to be.
What flower is it supposed to be?
I think it's supposed to be a peony.
It is pretty.
Yeah, I kind of like. So it's based off other tattoo artists' designs, is actually what it is. So I don't know if this is a faithful reproduction of a. I'm assuming it's peony.
I mean, it's not what I recognized it as, so I'm guessing it's not a faithful reproduction of it. No offense.
Purples and pinks. Purples and things and pink highlights. Yeah. That is a good idea. Yeah, I don't think it's a super faithful reconstruction. Representation, but that's fine. Doesn't need to be super faithful to the original. The intention is to make a good artwork. Nope. I went so far back out of the image, I went into the other image. yeah, so the inspiration for all these flash sheets was artists working today, similar sort of styles and designs to what they're doing. So some of it I took the subject matter and then just kind of ran with it and made a completely my own design. And then other ones I tried to kind of as faithfully recreate the design of the other artists as possible, whilst still kind of keeping it my own, so that it wasn't a direct copy. So either like changing the pose of things or changing the layout or changing the subject matter in such a way that I could still keep the major design elements. Because the major criticisms we received on our last attempt at an apprenticeship was that works weren't refined and finished enough. So we're working on refining and finishing our works a little bit better. Not knowing the industry enough. So we're going to showcase an understanding of the industry and what people are making and what people are getting tattooed on them. And then the realism stuff, which we've already kind of knocked out of the park. Or at least I think we've done a good job of it so far. Showcased that skill. And hopefully we'll have all of this work done shortly. And then we'll have a nice little portfolio that we'll be able to put together that basically showcases that we've done all the work that was asked of us. And if they're not keen to pick us back up, then we'll just continue on. It will be good. It will be good portfolio work. It'll be good showcase work for other places. And there's also probably going to be some good designs and prints and stuff in here that we can pull out and sell. There will be some more things going up on the Redbubble. I know I keep saying that it's coming up, but I do have 2 or 3 designs that I'm currently working on. Just cleaning them up a bit. And then once they're all cleaned up, I can load them up and get all those cleaned up and good. Why is everything freaking out suddenly? Okay. No, everything's good. There's just a sudden jitter on my end. Mildly concerned that my computer was about to crash again, because that's what happened to us last art stream, which was very annoying. Bedtime?
Oui?
Okay.
Lip balm.
Oh, rude.
But I love you.
She got me.
Well, you wanted to kiss me more than you wanted to not have lip balm on your lip.
Fair. Fair point. Tia, you're not gonna go hang out with your mummy? Noggin. Alright, I'm just gonna block in the large sections of color that we've got first, and then we'll go in and start, you know, putting in the gradient and the detail work and that kind of stuff. So we'll get like the major blocks of color in. See where we go from there. But those... Ooh. Spoke too soon. I was about to say, those are our leaves done, but no, got to clean up the edges here. Once we've got our colors blocked in, once we've got our large sort of sections of color going in and doing all the sort of fiddly work will be significantly easier. Because we can then use like fill tools and gradient tools and stuff like that. I would prefer to do them on my own, but it doesn't look as clean at the end, and that's specifically what we're going for. The style is the sort of neo-traditional, and even in traditional style is like lots of clean hard edges, fine lines, thick bold lines, and big blocks of color, big blocks of like gradient that's sort of smooth the whole way through. My style lends itself to being a little bit more kind of sketchy, a little bit kind of messy, and a bit more illustrative, which ultimately is the style of tattooing that I want to get into and want to be doing. But I need to be able to showcase that I can do, you know, the style of art that's being asked of me first. So we'll get that done. We'll showcase that we can do it. There we go. That's the leaves blocked in. So now we'll go in and put our petal colors in. So what I'm thinking is basically this blue, this purple, this kind of magenta-y violet, and then pastel pink, you reckoned, zone for highlights. Yeah, that'll look good. Alright, so I think immediately we highlight these little pollen petal-y type things. Stems? No. They're like the head of a stem in there. That looks good. And then we need the darkest color on the inside. So probably our purple in here. I'm gonna really rough this in. And then our violet probably for the outside. And then I was thinking the blue for like in here. How does that look? What we're going to try and do is gradient between these, so it's not going to be hard edges or anything. But we'll color that and see how that looks. I think this is going to be a little harsh, color-wise, but we'll see how we go. Might need to soften this slightly. I do want it to be super vibrant. One of the big things in like neo-traditionalism is like vibrant colors, vibrant blocks of color. So we'll see how that goes. That was terrible. Can't color in the lines. Call myself an artist. Jeez. I mean, most of these lines are going to move anyway, so sort of coloring around this is a little silly. But I don't want to sit here and spend 2 hours on line work on a stream. That would just be A, super dull, And B is a lot of concentration. A lot of that's the one thing about like line work for me. Is I have a hyper focus on it, or I have to focus on it, because otherwise I can't do it properly. I don't have the finest hand, the finest motor skills, which is interesting why I'm becoming a tattoo artist, honestly. But super fine work is not the kind of stuff I'm planning on doing. You're a po-tot man? Thought you were a potato man. That, I think I know what the problem is. I think that blue is just a bit too vibrant. So we'll get a darker blue, I think. And that will probably... And maybe a more dusky magenta. Not magenta. No, this is magenta, isn't it? I mean, this color in particular isn't. This color is sort of more in the violet range, but like... Your superpower is potatoes spawn in your pocket, and then you throw them at the bad men. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's a pretty awesome superpower to have. Also then, if potatoes just kind of spawn in your pocket endlessly, you can just always have potatoes to eat. Which, honestly, is a superpower in and of itself. I guess the problem would be, for that, is that you would then still have to cook them. So maybe it's, like, super useful to be a chef. The ultimate chef powers. Let's have a look at this blue. So if we lighten it slightly and then pull it a little bit more into this kind of darker grey register. A little bit more pastel-y. Maybe not quite that pastel-y. That's better. That's closer to what we were originally thinking. Potatoes are technically part of the nightshade family. Yes, I did know that. The only edible portion of the potato is itself. If you ate the rest of it, you would die of nightshade poisoning. I did know that it was part of the nightshade family. I didn't know that every other part of the potato plant was poisonous. I thought you could still prepare it in some way that, like... you know, the standard, you know, if you boil it and you do this and you do that, eventually you get something that's like semi-edible. Not particularly nice, but edible. But that would make sense if it had been developed from a nightshade family. That it would be basically inedible. I know lots of people who are like, oh, you can't eat your potatoes if they're green because they're nightshades and so they'll kill you. I don't know how true that is as a thing either. But I have heard that tale spun a few times before. There may be a way, but you're not messing with that? Yeah, totally fair. Here, let me just trial and error my way through, like, certain death. It's like all those stories of, like, early cavemen working out which mushrooms you can eat and which ones you can't. And the joke is usually inevitably like, oh, such and such ate this mushroom and so they died. But what actually happened was they would just follow animals around and see what they ate, and then ate, like, just basically mass farm whatever it is that they ate. Which is a much better solution, it makes way more sense. But it is funny to think that, like, oh yeah, Greg, yeah, he ate that funny looking mushroom thing over there and now he's dead. Well, we know not to eat that anymore. Can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat. Potatoes aren't meat. Nor are mushrooms, for that matter. Great band. Good album. Weird movie. They were definitely high when they made that one. I think most of this inner bit is actually going to be purple. I'm just trying to get at least some color in here first, so I can see what it looks like. I don't know if I've missed it. Yeah, I have. There we go. I was like, that is a weird spot for a white gap, but it's not a white gap. Which is good. We won't be streaming particularly late today. Unfortunately, I'll work tomorrow, so I've got to be up early. And as much as I would like to prioritize this work, unfortunately, I need to be more alive for that work, and that work makes me more money. A lot of plants are nightshades. They sure are. The nightshade family is super useful, and we have cultivated it for a very long time. How you doing, Cog? can already kind of see a problem here with this design. There's a lot of empty space just here. And this leaf hasn't filled it in, so there needs to be something in there, which I'm gonna have to add in. Which is fine. It was fine when it was just black and white. Here, I'll show you the original design. See, it's fine when it was just black and white. But now that we've got a bit of color in there, that empty spot is now quite obvious. So we're gonna have to do something about that. But we'll worry about that later. What on earth is this song? You're doing the do? How about me? I am doing alright. Doing pretty good. Taking a shower, very good. Make sure you look after yourself. Enjoy your shower. We should still be here when you return, as long as you don't take too long. I think this might be too much deviation in color. I think we might have to drop it down to just the kind of duochrome, this kind of purple, and the violet magenta-y color. Just not sure it's going to work otherwise, which is a shame because I do like this color palette. I don't think I can make it work. At least not with this design, how it's set up now. It's alright though, there'll be plenty more opportunities in future to chuck something like this in. Maybe we'll even do like a gradient, an airbrush gradient. From one color to the next. But our dagger there turned out really well. We're happy with that. If we pull these 3 leaves in to fill up this white gap, I think that fixes our design issue here. And this leaf, if we cut it slightly, just angle it slightly, that fixes a lot of our problems, I think. Yeah, so I think we're going to try and do that. This is going to be difficult, but we'll give it a go. So, if we select the green sections, and then grow the selection by 1 pixel. And then we're going to copy the line art layer. And then paste to make a duplicate over the top of it. Move that. I think we actually want this in 2 parts. We want this section here. We're just going to test this out, I think, first. Let's do that. And then let's see what this does. And then erase. Nope. Turn the opacity down so I can see what I'm erasing to where. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is mainly just to see if we can fix this composition issue. Because even though it's a minor issue, it's not that much of a problem here. If we can fix it now, before we go in and do all the detailing and fussing, then we won't have to, well, detail and fuss it. quite. I guess the other option is I could add in another leaf. So if I take this leaf here, oh. Let's say, okay, let's just take the whole thing and see what we can do with it. So let's delete these two because we don't need those anymore. We will actually just take the color, drop it underneath, spin it around, chuck it up here. Does that do what we want it to do? Yeah, it might actually. How do I rotate the selection? Edit selection. Rotate. Okay, I want to do just this. Copy, paste, edit, rotate. And then we're going to have to get rid of a bunch of it, but that's fine. We can do that. Much better. Problem solved. Alright, I'm going to just merge all of this down. Color layers on one, our line layers on the other. Back to normal. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I might have to do each of these leaves individually. Which is kind of what I originally had planned. So we can do that. I have to do this each one individually. Alright. So I'm using the select tool and the exclusion tool to say, I do want this, I don't want that. Cool, that works. If you were doing this and you wanted to be quick, there's a few different ways that you could make this much, much faster. One of them is to have like each of the different sections, so each of your different like petal sections on different layers. So you just do your different blocks of color on different layers. That way you only select the one layer you want. And then you could do like alpha locks and things like that. The other option you could use is just outlining things in sections in slightly different colors and then using different tolerances. So if your program uses tolerances for selection tools, I know Photoshop does. Don't know about Procreate. It still wants to select all of that, alright. I have yet to find a tolerances tool on Critter, which is mildly frustrating, but only just because like I'm used to using it in Photoshop. So it'd be nice to have access to it again. This is gonna look pretty frackin' good when we're done, I reckon. Sometimes I amaze even myself. Alright, here's a tricky one. There we go. There we go, that's better. And now that's different enough that we can use the select tool. Why did that not work? Ah, bugger. Accidentally, there we go. I accidentally color matched instead of doing the select tool. I'm a noggin. Nope, that's not, again, what I wanted to do. S. S is the hotkey that I want. Let's just go from the top with the simple ones. That is not at all what I had asked you to do. There we go. Too much. There we go. Much better. Select tool. Let's save. Probably should have been doing this on a different layer. A little bit less. That'll do. That's fine. This is mainly just for me to get a rough idea of what I want to do with this as well. I'm going to go in and clean all of this up afterwards. So I'm not trying to make this look perfect necessarily. If I can get it right the first time, I probably should and or would. But there's already a fair amount of things that need fixing up and doing. So we'll go back up and clean this later. I think is the idea. For now I'll just get the bulk of it down. Ugh, I keep fucking doing it. Color select. Nope. Color select. That color. poor workman blames his tools, and that is a thing that I definitely believe in. But there would definitely be some tools that would make this significantly easier. Better drawing pad, for one. Is that too light in comparison to the others? No, it's not too bad. That actually looks pretty good, gotta say. Now I think the idea with the leaves is I'm going to go like top half, bottom half. That might work. Have we finished? We've run out of songs! Oh! We're back in jazz. Which I think is honestly fine. Don't have an issue with that. You know what? We could even go as far as that in terms of cleanup. And we could go here as well. Fuck. Actually, just do this. That ain't bad. All right, let's trial what we're gonna do on this leaf here. So the idea I had was like a darker green one direction and a lighter the other. Maybe like inward, outward. No. One of the plans that I did have as an option was Alt. This is just a very rough concept. I like that. I think that works really well. It gives us a 3D-ish a 3D-ish effect without actually making it three-dimensional. And the curved lines that I've done kind of accentuate that as a concept. So if we did that across all of these, which wouldn't be too difficult to do, actually we could probably just do it now. So let's try that out. We want to do... we don't care about any of this leaf right now. And we don't want half of this leaf. That... There we go. None of that. None of that. And then along this line... Get rid of all of that. Get rid of all of this. Trying to follow this line a little bit more closely without doing that. The problem I'm having is that my hand is sticking to the my hand is sticking to the God fucking damn it. Ugh. Alright. Hopefully that will assist. Okay, that's a little better. That's right. Doesn't have to be a perfect edge. Just has to be close enough. And then that will automatically now cleave to that edge because it's a different color. We'll get rid of all of this to begin with because we don't need any of that. And then we can focus in on getting this properly aligned. This one does actually slightly matter more. Ah, fuck. I need to not stick to my It's because it's such an old drawing pad. The like protective slide coating has come off it. I'll do it this way. Shit. I'm fucking it up. Honestly, if only this did, like, formed edge. So many tools I wish I had. I mean, the other option would have been to select from the line art, but that would have had its own problems. this way works. What I need is a fucking drawing glove. I need to just buy myself one. Because I was like, oh, I don't know which one to get specifically, and like some of them are quite expensive, some of them really aren't. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Once again, we do not need this bit. So all of that can get out. We're just doing the top section here. So we don't want any of that. None of that. Let's get as close to the line as we can. We are now listening to slow jazz. When we finally get down to Melbourne, we're gonna have to find a cool jazz bar, I think. Try going the other way, see if that makes a difference. Fucking hell. There we go. Oh. Yeah, that really helps these leaves pop a bit, makes them look more stylized. Not realistic, but stylized. Ugh. Gonna have to keep going. I want to work from this side, not that side, because just get rid of all of this. That is not what I told you to do. There we go. This is not the better way to do this. The perils of working with older tools. You get used to some things, and you can kind of like finick your way around it. So you get used to like the little bumps and the ticks and where things are. But then at the same time, you also end up losing. Nope. You end up losing out on like newer functions or things being like clean, Because one of the big issues I'm having is, like, my hand is just sticking to the, what's it called? Tablet. Drawing tablet. And my hand, like, I don't have the smoothest hands to begin with. I was born with issues, which basically preclude me from being able to, have super steady hands. But if I had the tools available to me, being up to date and being the things that I actually needed. Part of that's my fault. I just haven't gone and gotten them. Like, for example, the drawing glove. You can get some good digital drawing gloves, and then you can get some ones that are like specifically for working with like pencils and charcoals and things like that, and pens. And I kind of want both, theoretically. I want to add in this line here. Like that. There we go. Yeah, if I'd gone out of my way to just, like, actually get one, then this would be less of an issue. Not enough. A little bit more. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that's good. That's really making it pop. Cool. Okay, so we don't need that side because it's outside of the thing anyway. That'll be in the next one. Let's get rid of these. Up to about there. And get rid of you. You. I think I stupidly left a section there that I could have gotten rid of much easier. There we go. Perfect. That's the go. And then these. So we want this section, this section, this section, this section, this section, and this section. And then get rid of everything on this side. How's that looking? That looks pretty good. I think that was too much. Not enough. Look at that. I think think I need to angle it slightly from here. Yep, that's better. I'm just going to go in and clean this up. Just there. Really shouldn't have done that. Take that there and brighten it slightly. Okay. Continuing the work. There we go. Hope everybody is having a good time. Having a nice night. A nice morning, evening, day, whatever it is for you. Wherever you're up to in your little world. My little world's going alright. Had a pretty nice day today. Managed to sleep in, managed to get some art done. Getting some more art done. Going to work tomorrow is slightly less exciting. I honestly just need to quit my job. That would pretty much be the instant solution to most of my problems. The issue is, need money to do that. Try moving with this under my hand and see how that goes. Fucking hell, look at that. Just made that fucking 100 times easier. Bit of an exaggeration. Okay. Last leaf. See if I can do this in one. No. What's catching less? It's definitely still catching on it though. But yeah, that's a quite an improvement. There. Which does tell me that, honestly, I just need to get, get a drawing glove. I might try and order one of those tomorrow. Might also get some, like, archivist gloves. Some cotton archivist gloves. Because if I can do that, I could probably just cut a couple of fingers out of it and DIY myself some gloves for in the meantime. Until the good ones get delivered. Okay. Now, this should be easy. Theoretically, yes. Perfect. Oh, that looks miles better. Alright, now it's basically just all the bullshit in here. And what I will do as a trick for that... let's just select all this purple shit. If I select by a similar color, no, that's not going to do it. I select just area. Brush color. Darken this slightly, and then use the airbrush. Just trying to darken that a little bit, and then mass select the blue. Perfect. Sort of just playing around because I don't know exactly how I want to do this. So I'm going to do this and then see if I can get something that resembles the color I want in the end. One section. Such a pain in the ass. There we go. getting closer to kind of what I had envisioned here. Too much. Dial it back a little. No idea what I'm doing in this middle bit. Alright, if we just clear all this out. That's it. There we go. That's something. And then we'll just have to clean it up in the line art, I think. Still don't know if this inner section needs to be like darker still. Well, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. It definitely needs to work still. It still needs to be cleaned up. The line art needs to be fixed up in places. But, it's not bad. So we've got this lovely dagger that we've done, and then we've got this, peony? I think it's... Let's have a look. Is it actually a peony? Peony. No, it is not a peony. So what the fuck am I drawing? I'll have to check the artist that I was inspired by their design. See what they called it. I've seen a lot of this style of flower tattoo. This particular one. Usually they've got like not like a spike, but like an extension of the petal structure in the center. Anyway, let's save that. Yeah, I think that is an improvement. We've definitely made 2 very nice clean works. Oh, what time is it? Almost 11:30. We've been streaming for about 3 hours, just over, and I still need to shower and get ready for work tomorrow, so we're probably going to raid out now. So let's see if we can find someone we want to raid into. Alright, we've got Vivi's art service doing art. We've got Innovates doing art. Bulbasaura playing V Rising. Buttery Smooth, though we recently raided into him, so we probably won't raid into him again. Steve Preston doing some art as well. Layla Sean playing Sims 4. Friendly Ed playing V Rising. Wolf Ebonite playing V Rising. Archer's Apothecary playing Confabulation. What on earth is Confabulation? Let's go and have a cheeky look. Right. Oh, it's a spoopy game. Maybe not. That's not quite the vibe we're going for tonight, I think. Census Taker said they're doing art, but it appears like they're playing a game of some kind. Maybe Steven? Oh yeah, they're playing Gartic Phone. Well, they're B-right backing. Whilst they Gartic Phone on stream. Let's raid into Steven. He's not there at the moment, but that's okay. The bigger thing is going to be we're back tomorrow, most likely, for an art stream. We'll be doing more of this same stuff. So if you enjoyed it and you're keen, feel free to come along for that. Yeah, that's basically it. If I'm way too tired from work and like everything's shit, then we might have to skip. But I'm gonna do my very best to get onto the stream. Because I need to get more art done anyway, so, you know, might as well do it on the stream. And then we'll be back Thursday. Cog will probably be back then, and we'll be able to play a bit of Valheim, I will assume, is what we're going to be doing. And then also some other interesting news on Monday next week. The cards should arrive. I have the stream's about to go in the raid, but I have the cards here. These are our lovely Thingo cards. Anyway, you'll be able to buy them in the store soon. All right, raid's going. Bye, everybody.
Gotta relax.